ESPN's three-day Bracket Buster Bender kicks off from a packed Charles Koch Arena on the campus of Wichita State University. Tonight, the 22-win Shockers host the VCU side, trying to earn its 9th trip to the NCAA tournament. You to ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Sears Bracket Busters. Tonight, from the Colonial Athletic Association, the VCU Rams, 20-8 overall, face Wichita State. The Shockers, the first Missouri Valley Conference team this season to hit the 22-win mark. And according to ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi, as of today, 2 teams from both the Colonial and Missouri Valley will get invites to March Madness. VCU barely the man out from the Colonial and the Missouri Valley. Both Wichita State and Missouri State, as of now, 12 seeds. Of course, the situation extremely fluid. Glad you're with us tonight for the tip-off game of the 9th annual edition of ESPN Bracket Busters. Rob Stone, Valvano here with you. No denying the importance of these late non-conference games, just 23 days away from Selection Sunday. And no need, Bob, to remind Wichita State of the value of tonight's game.
No question, Rob. Last year, despite a 25-win season, they only went 3-3 their last 6, including a loss in Bracket Busters at Utah State at home. They want to take care of business and make sure that doesn't happen again this year.
We're taking a look tonight, Star Watch, and it focuses on the leading scorers of both teams, but Skeen and Durley do so much more than just put the ball in the bucket.
They do, but Skeen's numbers when VCU wins are much, much better than when they lose. He is a guy that is a catalyst for them. He shoots 14% higher from the field and 33% higher from three-point line. On the other side, JT Durley's a guy who's rarely spectacular, but always has to be solid. Leading scorer, averages over 5 rebounds a game, and they have got to dominate the backboards tonight. That's a big part of what the Shockers do.
Tonight's lineup is brought to you by Sears. Both sides making one adjustment from their last game. The Rams will give 7-foot freshman center DJ Haley his first career start. The Shockers will be without Graham Hatch tonight due to a sprained ankle. Ben Smith will get the nod in his place. VCU coming in off of their worst defeat of the season, a 20-point loss to George Mason. They have really struggled the opening 5 minutes of their last 5 games. Very important to keep an eye on how the Rams start this one in front of a packed house here on the campus of Wichita State University. Rodriguez, the point guard for the Rams.
He's another key. When they play well, he has been a catalyst.
This shot, rebound by Haley, the freshman center. Loose ball, jump ball to call. And it'll go to Wichita State. Shaka Smart.
Wow, jacket's
33 seconds in, and it's time to take off the coat. Second-year head coach for VCU, 47-17 overall.
This is a concern for Greg Marshall, what they do against this pressure. This is the first team to really press them. VCU is such a big part of their attack, what they do, changing their full-court defensive pressure.
Joe Ragland, the point guard, kicks it out. Smith, 3-ball, in and out.
That guy can really shoot it, though. They dodged the bullet there.
Skeen through the paint. Lost it, pulled it back. Nixon from St. Petersburg won't go. Another second chance opportunity, swatted away. Rodriguez.
Well, that's encouraging, though, for the Rams, because they have been playing volleyball on the offensive glass, Rob, against this great rebounding team.
Offensive. Joe Ragland, the former JUCO All-American, a little bit out of control. Greg Marshall, in his 4th season here at Wichita, has improved the Shockers' record every season he has been here.
7 times to the NCAA, 1 to the NIT. He had a great run at Winthrop, and that was his concern about the pressure. He likes to attack pressure, but Joe Ragland sometimes goes a little too fast for his own good, and that was a perfect example.
Burgess drops that three-pointer. VCU not afraid to loft up the three balls. They are a top 25 three-point made team in the land, averaging just over 8 a game, and they are out to a quick 5-0 lead. Blair fakes it. Murray down low. The Shockers will get an and one. J.T. Durley with the first bucket for Wichita State.
We talked about at the top, Rob. He's rarely spectacular, but always doing the smart things. A little wobbly for his team right now against the pressure. Establish that interior presence. Good little fake. Draw the contact and maybe a three-point play.
DJ Haley with the foul, and he is off to the bench. Three-point play is converted. Haley, Coach Smart telling us today during shoot-around, we're going to make a quick sub on the young man. He's put on a lot of weight since coming on campus in Richmond. And
in a good way.
In a good way, right. But the stamina not quite there yet.
He's very thin, and he's been working very hard, and they think he's got a bright future.
Traveling the call. Javante Reddick off the bench with the turnover.
Now here's where you don't have a decision to make because they'll have to run their press attack. But Greg Marshall told us he wants to see how the game evolves, whether on made baskets they take it out of the net and just attack, or they try and set their press attack up as they're doing here. Pretty confident attack that time.
Little floater goes glass, won't fall. Another chance for the Shockers. Put back too strong.
Here they go.
Off balance, foul called. Ben Smith falling away, another foul on the Rams.
It'll be Nixon.
Second team foul of the half on the Rams.
First on Nixon, second team foul. Smith will go to the free throw line.
We asked Greg Marshall, what do you do? I mean, they're +9 a game in rebounds. That makes you a whole lot smarter when you get 9 extra possessions. And he said, you know, every drill they do, everybody must go to the glass on both sides. Offensively, they run a shell drill. The offensive players have to go and touch the backboard. It makes the defensive players aware to check out and go get the ball. And boy, they do a consistently great job of that. In fact, they've out-rebounded their opponents in all but 3 of their games this season. That's astounding.
Out-rebounding the opposition by an average of over 9 a game. And VCU, rebounding is certainly one of their weaknesses. Tie game here at Fox. Burgess, the offensive board, and kicks it back out.
Really a great job going to the offensive glass by VCU, though. Surprising.
VCU already with 7 shot attempts in this one. And now 8.
Nixon, terrific dish.
Basket by Skeen.
Jamie Skeen with the bucket. Skeen leads the Rams with just about 14.5 points a game.
This is a very big and athletic team in Wichita State. Ooh, might get rid of a hook there.
Nice cut to the basket by Durley. He'll pick up another foul.
I think it's going to be just a clean block out of bounds. It'll stay with the Shockers here.
22, Rozelle now in for the Rams.
They both teams spent a lot of time on baseline out of bounds plays today, knowing one possession could be a difference in a game like this.
Murray jumper off target, kept alive by the little guy, Ragland.
Another chance. See Wichita State putting great pressure around the basket on that baseline out of bounds play. VCU did a nice job of avoiding much of the contact, taking the layup away, but couldn't get the rebound.
Ragland, a lefty from 3. And Wichita State with their first lead of the evening.
He has gotten more and more minutes. They brought him in thinking he was going to fill in the gap. They had much of the team back, but needed a point guard. He struggled a little bit early making the adjustment from the junior college game, but had 8 assists in their win on the road at Northern Iowa. Just 2 turnovers, and you see the good jump shot there.
Foul down low on Wichita State. That'll be on Gabe Blair. Joe Ragland, first year here at Wichita State. The JUCO transfer with the 3 ball to give the Shockers the early lead.
exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Sears. The all-new Volkswagen Jetta. It's great for the price of good. That's DasAuto. And Orbitz. When you orbit, you know.
This President's Day weekend, take advantage of Sears' Big Home Appliance Savings Event. Get 30% off all Kenmore appliances and get 15% off all other brands. Plus, save $800 on this Kenmore French door bottom freezer with ice and water dispenser and get 40% off this Kenmore conventional washer. Hurry into Sears for these incredible savings. Search Sears Appliances for our everyday best prices guaranteed. Sears.
Surprisingly priced at $15,995, the all-new 2011 Jetta has arrived. Discover German engineering and premium style on the Jetta S, with best-in-class rear legroom as well as no-charge scheduled carefree maintenance, all standard. That's great for the price of good. During the President's Day event, lease the all-new 2011 Jetta S for $179 a month.
Where to go for a quiet getaway?
Thanks to the Orbitz Matrix display, you can make more knowledgeable decisions when booking vacation packages. See all your hotel and flight options and savings for the ideal vacation.
Perfect.
When you Orbitz, you know.
It's February Any. This month only, any regular footlong is a $5 footlong. Even the tasty steak and cheese. ESPN College Game Day, tomorrow on ESPNU and ESPN.
Talked about Wichita State having a huge advantage through the course of the season in the rebound department. They're being out-rebounded by a 2-1 margin early on. 6-3 lead in that one for VCU. We take a look at what's on the line tonight for both the Rams and the Shockers, and both teams trying to get their way back into the NCAA tournament good graces. And both these programs, Bob, have made some ripples in the NCAA tournament through the course of their history.
And certainly this year, you look at the separation between teams, which seems smaller than ever. Nice inbounds play, just what we talked about. Greg Marshall was livid. That's where you see something in a scouting report. You feel you've had your guys prepared, and there's a breakdown, and you just can't afford those in games when the margin is so small.
Easy bucket there by Burgess. The What's on the Line brought to you by OnTheLine.com. Rob Stone, Bob Valvano, glad you're here with us for the first game of the 9th edition of the ESPN Bracket Busters. Another game tonight at 9 Eastern over on ESPNU. More action Saturday and Sunday. Joe Lunardi, ESPN's bracketologist, will be in the ESPNU studio all day tomorrow.
I mean, they want him to. It's not like you were warning people.
Right. It's not like he's being punished. This is what he lives for. This is his time of the year.
I like to clear that up.
8 on the shot clock. Jumper. Smith. Got it.
Actually, that was Ben Smith. Excuse me, I was just going to say his first three. And boy, we watched him in shoot-around today, Rob, and I was just raving about how fundamentally sound that shot is. Beautiful rotation, deft touch. He is a terrific shooter, shooting over 50% from the three-point line in conference games.
Reddick with the reverse layup. Yeah, you were watching his stroke, and you were hoping we'd go back to the old ABA days.
I was.
Break out the red, white, and blue ball.
It would look beautiful with that kind of rotation. He's got a textbook shot.
Durley, the big man, steps back, drops a 3-ball of his own.
That's big, because he'd only made one of his last 10 threes. And he's still at over 30% on the year. That was a nice-looking shot as well.
Hard battle down low, and another offensive chance for the Rams. Big kick out, and Rodriguez will regroup.
Very smart. Offensive rebound, sometimes the adrenaline takes over, and you force it back up there. Didn't have anything, reset your offense.
Rodriguez, in and out. Shockers slow down as they try to push the pace. Ragland, another 3-ball.
We said at the top, he's elevated his game of late. You see the confidence right now.
Biggest lead of the game thus far for the Shockers. And there's a foul on Ragland, who just made that big three-pointer. Ragland getting a stare down from Greg Marshall.
Well, it's his second foul, and again, he sometimes just lets the emotion get the best of him. His coach, who has such a fondness for him, says what a great kid he is. But sometimes we'll refer to him as Juco Joe, meaning just sometimes getting a little bit out of control, letting the emotion get the best of him. And you saw right there, determined, and he's off to a great start, but that second foul is one that easily could have been avoided.
Last season, Joe, a first-team JUCO All-American at North Platte Community College in Nebraska. So he will watch this one from the bench. And Demetric Williams will take over some of the point guard responsibilities for the Shockers. Tough shot by Rozelle, won't fall. Haley can't get it off the bench. Garrett Stutz with the board for Wichita State. There is Stutz.
Nice.
Oh, the big man fakes it, kicks it. Smith, airborne.
Well, we got celebrating his shot, and he put one wide right. Scott Norwood in it.
Theus with the penetration and the travel.
So these teams obviously didn't get the script because VCU is supposed to be the, and they are, not supposed to be, terrific three-point shooting team has made just one. Wichita State has made 4 threes, and Wichita State's supposed to be the dominant team on the backboard. And VCU has twice as many offensive rebounds as the Shockers.
Third turnover of the game on VCU. Their press so far has forced just one Wichita State turnover to this point. Again, this is the first time Wichita State has really faced full-court pressure this season. This is a Wichita State team, Bob, that is on the cusp of being a top 25 team this season. And a travel by Kyles.
Brandenburg, the freshman, has done a nice job coming on this year, and they did a good job forcing that turnover.
ESPN, your home court for college hoops. 5-hour energy presenting a doubleheader tomorrow, first at noon Eastern. Great one from the Big East. Number 4 Pittsburgh at MSG to take on St. John's, and at 2 Eastern, number 1 Kansas in action. Kyles the steal and the lay-in.
You saw one of the things that Greg Marshall loves to do. He likes to have a hockey mentality and substitute 5 guys at once. But with the injury, Graham Hatch, one of his starters, is out. He did bring 3 in, bring some energy in, and you see that energy translated to a turnover.
And a foul on Stutz down low.
41, Garrett Stutz is first.
Stutz is first. We flash back to the steal by Kyles.
Just a little lazy pass. Kyles, the good energy, good anticipation. He's come off the bench, some fresh legs, and he turns it into a deuce.
Toure Murray back into Wichita State.
Toure Murray, the very talented junior from Houston, checks back in for the Shockers. Big run here by Wichita State to get them up by 8.
Good job on the closeouts. They are well aware of this team's perimeter ability. You can see they are really getting out quickly.
A quick little spin down low and using the glass.
That's why he's so valuable. Skeen, we talked about him at the top. That's the defense reacting to their reputation as great three-point shooters. Extended, he has to give them a post presence, and he does.
Skeen battling some turf toe issues the last couple games.
Let him go down the gut.
Stutz the follow, won't go.
That's dodging a bullet there, though, because that's one of the things, even if the shot doesn't go in, very hard to get weak side rebounding. There is no weak side. The ball's right in the middle of the floor, and they had an opportunity to tip it back in. So VCU really kind of fortunate there not to pay for that mistake.
9 minutes into this one, Wichita State up by 6. Haley, the freshman, an awkward take. 10 on the shot clock. Nixon will regroup.
Trying to get a ball screen for a quick go here.
Nixon out of control. Offensive foul. JT Durley may be 6'8". Doesn't mean he can't step back and drop the 3. Shockers on top by 6.
What is a win?
It's about the perfect shot.
It's beating the guys.
It's playing with my father. It's more than what happens on Sunday afternoon.
It's shooting your age.
It's shooting 59 with your sister.
It's meeting my hero.
I win with Callaway. I win.
I win with Callaway.
Callaway.
Callaway. Callaway.
I win with Callaway.
Winners play Callaway.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
The taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Surprisingly priced at $15,995, the all-new 2011 Jetta has arrived. Discover German engineering and premium style on the Jetta S, with best-in-class rear legroom as well as no-charge scheduled carefree maintenance, all standard. That's great for the price of good. During the President's Day event, lease the all-new 2011 Jetta S for $179 a month.
VCU, the team with the reputation for launching the three balls, but it's Wichita State taking it to the Rams in that department. They are 4 for 6 from three-point land thus far, Bob.
And you know what? They're really good shots. That's the thing you like. That's a wide-open look. Joe Ragland's got a couple of threes. We certainly know that guy can shoot it. Ben Smith. And then the big fella, J.T. Durley, who had been a bit of a shooting slump of late. This is the other one from Ragland. And, you know, let's not delude ourselves just because VCU is so good behind the line. Wichita State very strong as well, as you can see. 36% on the season, not too shabby, and they made 7 a game, so it's a big part of their offense as well.
VCU just 1 of 2 thus far from three-point land.
This is where they got to get some stuff out of their full-court pressure. They like to shoot threes in transition. Shaka Smart worked with Billy Donovan. That's a lot of Billy's offensive philosophy. Defense translates into threes in transition, which is a byproduct from Rick Pitino.
Williams, the strong take. The backup point guard tonight with a big bucket. Rodriguez from 3, right back at you.
Three-point basket by Rodriguez.
That's where they get a lot of it, in transition. Even though it was a made bucket, it was still in transition.
The second made three-pointer of the evening.
Ooh, that's a mistake there. They're going to pay for that.
Easy bucket for the big man from Kansas City.
Can't lose sight of the basketball. Had their back turned to the ball. A nice pass. Got an easy one.
Rodriguez with a quick 5. Scored the last 5 points for the Rams. Rodriguez now with 7 to lead all scores.
We'll give you some numbers on him when they win and when VCU loses. They are really eye-popping. That's a great sign for the Rams that he's off to a good start.
Blair caught in the air.
Going to try a wraparound pass, and the defense rotated. He had nowhere to throw it.
Rodriguez.
Nice ball movement.
Three-pointer.
Yep.
Got it.
Burgess
lead at 2 for Wichita State.
His second 3, and that's 2 threes in the last 4 trips. This is what VCU is all about. Scoring in bunches. That offense fuels their energy. Shaka Smart said maybe it shouldn't, but when they shoot it well, defensively they got to step quicker.
Murray, open look, drops that one.
That's pretty good execution for the Shockers there. VCU showed a little bounce in their step, but Wichita State just came down, ran their offense, and got a great look for now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players have scored already. They're not even 12 minutes into the game for Wichita State.
Murray's first bucket, he averages 10 a game. Skeen from 3, wide open, drops it.
Three-point basket by Skeen.
Careful some flow. Going up and down now. I think right now, that flow favors VCU. It's how they've gotten back in the game. You see the Rams here going to switch to a zone. They'll change your pace. They can slow the Shockers down. Pretty active zone. Nice job so far. Getting good ball pressure. Short shot clock.
4 on the shot clock. 3. They're going to have to force one up. off in time and chased down by Wichita State. Rozelle, the pickoff. Strong take and the layup, and the lead goes back to the Rams.
This is you want to see VCU at their best? Take that videotape of the last 6 minutes. This is what it is. Some scoring in transition, couple of threes, scoring in bunches, change defense, get out in the open court. Great block out, terrific block out.
And some quick hands anticipating that pass. It'll go back to VCU.
Skeen almost undid his good work with a bad outlet pass. But playing well here, going to the glass and stepping back and knocking down the three. His team leads by 1.
Surprisingly priced at $15,995, the all-new 2011 Jetta has arrived. Discover German engineering and premium style on the Jetta S, with best-in-class rear legroom as well as no-charge scheduled carefree maintenance, all standard. That's great for the price of good. During the President's Day event, lease the all-new 2011 Jetta S for $179 a month.
ESPN, the home court of college hoops, pits 2 championship-winning coaches in a special Friday night matchup. The high-flying Kyle Kuric and the 16th-ranked Cardinals prevailed after a thrilling double-overtime game versus the Huskies last month. Now, Kemba Walker and number 12 UConn look to even the score as both teams fight for a top spot in the Big East.
Got it for 3!
Connecticut versus Louisville, tonight at 9 on ESPN.
Mike Yam studio with you. You are watching VCU and Wichita State here on ESPN2, but we're chasing history on ESPN3.com. FIU has Southeastern Louisiana Golden Panthers. Garrett Whittles taking a 56-game hitting streak into the season opener. The record, of course, 58, held by Robin Ventura, who did it back in 1987 for Oklahoma State. Whittles at the dish right now, an 0-1 count. We'll take a listen in.
Great ability to let the ball travel, and that first pitch that came in there, it was a little bit jumpy.
Now the home plate umpire Michael Baker has called time. 1 strike to Garrett Whittles. 56-game hitting streak on the line here tonight. 2 shy of Robin Ventura. Played the Wooden Bat League in Alaska this summer, and we talked to Turtle Thomas about Whittles' swing and said it was a little off this summer. Hit .254 up north. No homers and 16 RBIs.
Different situation when you're facing better arms day in and day out. Alaska Summer League, one of the best summer leagues in the entire country.
To short. Boudreau. Safe at first. We'll have to see how that is ruled. Run comes in for Florida International.
All right, so they'll take a closer look, and it looks like it's going to be an error at first base. And, of course, we will keep you posted here. Once again, a 56-game hitting streak for Garrett Whittles. And throughout the course of the night, we'll keep you posted here. Back to the game now between VCU and Wichita State. Rob, Bob.
Thank you, Mike. We welcome you back here on ESPN2, the first game of this weekend's ESPN Racket Buster series. More action tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Problems at the free throw line, so the lead remains with the visitors.
I'd like to be the official scorer in that game, by the way. No heat on that guy, huh?
No, thank you. We got enough problems keeping score with this game at the pace it has found suddenly. With a tough little layup, won't go. Strong board and then a foul. That'll go on Javante Reddick as he bumps Smith to the floor. Second foul on Reddick.
15 fouls and a half on the Rams.
One of the things you're seeing from VCU right now that's really helping, even though Rodriguez missed that off-balance layup a few moments ago, they're able to get in the lane now, and that's making the defense have to hesitate just a little bit, Rob. We were talking about how they were closing out on the shooters. Now they have to respect Skeen scored inside, Rodriguez on the penetration, and that's opened up the perimeter game. They've knocked down some threes now and even things up there, 4 threes apiece.
Speaking of defense, number 33, DJ Haley, the 7-foot freshman, back on for VCU. He can do nothing about that bucket. And another lead change, our 5th of the night. There's our 6th lead change.
The versatility for VCU. As Rozelle gets inside his second field goal. No, not just live by the 3, die by the 3. A little post game, some penetrating moves, kickouts, good spacing in transition. Game's really flowing right now. Here's another turnover.
Rozelle with 4 off the bench.
So look at wide open, nobody in the lane. Really get the big spacing. Now roll the guy down low.
And a huge arcing three-pointer from Jamie Skeen, the senior from Charlotte, who now is in double figures, and the lead at 4 for VCU.
That was in transition. You're trying to get unchallenged threes. He was under some pressure there, but threw it up there in the rafters. He's in double figures now, as you said. That was a big momentum shot right there.
Skeen almost forcing a turnover there on the defensive side.
Just what we talked about. You see them making shots. You know, they're either turning you over, getting deflections, much more active.
Gabe Blair, the senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, with the jumper.
Every shot that it's played has scored.
Skeen, a step-back 3-ball, in and out. Wide open rebound for Burgess and a lay-in.
He's in double figures now as well with 10. And I'll tell you what, that coupled with their ability to shoot threes has been the difference. They are really getting to the glass, the Rams.
Burgess and Skeen now both with 10 points. Long-range three-pointer. David Kyles off the bench, averaging just over 2 3-balls made per game. There's another one for him. Rodriguez finds a seam and then kicks it out and picks up the foul. Well, he's finding a lot of space in the paint, isn't he, Bob?
Well, once they made that little gaggle of threes, you could see they were very, very aware of staying out on the shooters, and he's making the good decision, which is you counter punch to their adjustment. Go inside now.
Toure Murray picking up his first foul. VCU with a couple of subs coming in now.
Really been a nice job of both coaches and both teams adjusting early. They closed out on the shooters. VCU had a post game. Then they got the defense to loosen up a little bit, made threes. Now that they've extended again, they're trying to go inside. And this has been a huge weapon. Who saw this coming?
Reddit with the board and the putback.
They're doing this against a team that's plus 9.3 rebounds per game. Having their way with them on the offensive backboards.
As a VCU team that's been struggling, they're in the midst of a 2-game losing streak. They've also lost 3 of their last 5 games. Offense has been an issue. There's some creative offense there for Wichita State. Make the air ball into a bucket. VCU coming right back at you with another 3-ball. This one from Rob Brandenburg off the bench. Kyles responds with an air ball 3-ball.
See, this is VCU style right now. They're playing the way VCU wants to play. Look out.
Rodriguez thought about it. Travels.
Greg Marshall looks like he is going to have a very animated timeout. His team has fallen behind here, and the Rams have all the momentum, up by 4.
This President's Day weekend, take advantage of Sears' Big Home Appliance Savings Event. Get 30% off all Kenmore appliances and get 15% off all other brands. Plus, save $800 on this Kenmore French door bottom freezer with ice and water dispenser and get 40% off this Kenmore conventional washer. Hurry into Sears for these incredible savings. Search Sears Appliances for our everyday best prices guaranteed. Sears.
Try this.
For the first time at McDonald's, your 2 favorite flavors together. New McCafe Caramel Mocha.
Well, what do you guys think?
Perfect. The simple joy of sweet harmony.
Not all steel is created equal. Not all manufacturing processes are created equal. Not all engineering standards are created equal. Which is why not all luxury vehicles are created equal. The hard way means never taking shortcuts. The hard way is how Lexus inspires absolute confidence. This is the pursuit of perfection. See what it takes at Lexus.com the hard way.
When the young guns of the Nationwide Series hit the track at Daytona, they'll be running their new Challengers, Impalas, Camrys, and Mustangs 4 wide with the best of the Sprint Cup. Justin Allgaier, Trevor Bayne, and Danica Patrick will put it all on the line against seasoned veterans Keselowski, Edwards, and Junior at one of NASCAR's most demanding tracks. See if they have what it takes to win the Nationwide Series at Daytona, Saturday at noon on ESPN2, presented by GoDaddy.com.
Mike Hamm in studio with you. Coming up at the half, Jay Williams will join me. Carmelo Anthony could be on the move to the East Coast. What the four-time All-Star had to say about a trade to New Jersey. And it was a double overtime thriller last time they played. Jay will tell you the key component in a Big East battle between UConn and Louisville. Rob, Bob?
Thank you, Mike. Look forward to you and Jay at halftime here in Wichita. We've had 2 ties and 6 lead changes. VCU up by 4, Bob, due to threes, rebounding, and spacing.
Well, rebounding is really key. They have 7 guys who shoot more than 33% behind the three-point line. Look how wide open the lane is. Look, there's nobody over there, and that makes it hard to block out. And you see coming from a long distance, frankly, is Burgess, and he gets the follow. Watch here. Now they run 2 guys down the lane, flash them in on the weak side, just working hard. And Redick, the 6'9" freshman, with the putback. So they're in the lane, they're out of the lane, they compress the defense, then they extend it, makes it difficult to get a good block out. And they're backing it up by shooting the 3. They've now got the edge there. Actually, it's 5-5, and they were down early shooting the 3 ball.
VCU started off just 1 of 2 from three-point land, really went looking for it. Now they are 6 of 9.
I was going to say, I get shortchanged them 1. They actually have an edge there by 1, so I was surprised why the game's turned around. So they are active defensively, too, and it's fueling their defense. Went back to man-to-man. They played a couple of possessions of zone.
And Wichita State has also struggled with their point guard, Joe Ragland, on the bench, saddled with 2 fouls. There's a wide-open jumper dropped by Aaron Ellis.
Everybody who's played is on the board. This has been really a pretty good counterpunch by Wichita State. When they got kicked in the mouth, they've come back and scored, showing some good composure.
Rodriguez with 7 points. Burgess and Skeen in double figures for the Rams.
Wichita State's 14 for 26. That's not too shabby.
Another three-pointer and another made 3-ball for VCU. Brandon Lazelle, the senior from Richmond, 3rd on the team, averaging just over 12 a game, drops in the 7th three-pointer tonight for VCU.
Now back to the 2-3 zone, trying to keep them off balance, giving them different looks.
Smith from 3.
Over the backboard, so it'll be a team rebound to Wichita State. This has been a pretty impressive performance by the Rams, coming in and taking care of their one weakness, which has been on the backboard, as you pointed out, against a team that's been just dominant there. Now they're doing what they normally do, and that's hit 3-pointers. So all the momentum's gone their way.
Rodriguez beating the pressure, splitting a couple defenders, wraparound pass, and an easy bucket for the Rams. Veal with the bucket, but give all the hard work and credit to Rodriguez. His 8th assist of the game already, making his 9th assist. My Lord.
We've talked about when he plays well and when Skeen plays well, they're a completely different team. I'd say he's playing well today.
Hey, he might have a double-double by halftime of points and assists. Jumper won't go. Rebound Skeen. Rodriguez, head up.
Well, he's confident right now, too. You sense it. Just has a sense where everybody is.
Skeen in the paint, little hot, out of control, too strong. And another chance for the Rams, and an obvious foul there on Ellis.
Oh, man, this is... The other team's the shockers. This is shocking. The Rams are being shockers today. They're not supposed to have this kind of rebounding performance. On the season, they get out-rebounded by 3 or so a game, and here they are just taking it to this Wichita State team. I am really astounded at this, and I'll tell you what, I think that's one of the reasons it's going on. I think Wichita State's shocked. Their game plan wasn't about having to rebound. They just took that for granted, Rob.
They're being out-rebounded 19-10, Bob. Minute and a half left in the first half. Coach Smart calls out the play.
Marshall just wants to get to the locker room and reassess, because this clearly has taken his team by surprise, no question.
Ten on the shot clock. Rodriguez manufacturing his own shot, goes righty, and the follow flush. Mercy! Where did Beal come from? Biggest lead of the night for VCU. They're up 9.
I'm telling you, the Shockers better get to the locker room soon. This is going to be a doubly challenging second half, because the margin is going to be in double digits.
Durley, 3-ball, won't go. Offensive board by Murray. Streaking through with Stutz.
Out number 20, Burgess is first.
You take a look at this. Rodriguez controlling the ball, shoots a floater late in the shot clock, and then no checkout. They watch him come untouched down the lane. Got to get a body on a body, and that is something they preach every day. Really surprised at a lack of defensive rebound.
Stutz drops the first free throw, averaging just over 72% from the line. Stutz gets them both. VCU bringing back Ed Nixon onto the floor, and Veal will take a seat after that thunderous follow flush.
Good job sprinting that end line. Composed press attack. As soon as I said that, they throw it in the seats.
ESPN, the home court of college hoops, with a great game tonight at 9 Eastern over on ESPN, a top 20 Big East showdown. Number 12 UConn taking on number 16 Louisville. That game also available online over at ESPN3.com and on your phone. Under 30 to go here in the first half. Wichita State will hold for the last shot.
How big it would be if they could get a bucket here, make it a 2-possession game. I know the VCU came out and just threw everything at you. I'm still really in striking distance. Let's see what they have.
Williams off the screen. Murray. Smith, the follow. And no dice on the last effort. Wichita State led by as many as 8. VCU stormed back, had a 9-point advantage at one point, and heading into the locker room, they're up by 7. So VCU on top, 45-38 on the road at Wichita. Now, we send it to Mike Yam and Jay Williams in the studio with our halftime report.
All right, Rob, it is halftime. The Rams up by 7 over the Shockers. Jay Williams and Mike Ham in studio with you, and certainly a significant game for two teams in two different conferences. We could be seeing them come March, though. What are you seeing from these two squads in the first half?
I think you're seeing two teams that really play hard and two teams that are really good basketball teams. Both of these teams have shown the ability to beat schools from Power 6 conferences. Wichita State, they beat UVA, they beat LSU, they played UConn to a 4-point game, and then you have VCU, who beat UCLA at the Garden, forcing them into 21 turnovers. I think VCU has really amazed me so far in the first half with their ability to dominate the boards, considering Wichita State has a +9 rebounding margin. But this game is huge of significance for both teams, considering both the CAA and the Missouri Valley Conference have a chance to get multiple bids into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm sure VCU fans are saying to themselves, where was this rebounding against George Mason a couple nights ago? They could have used that certainly in that matchup, but it will be interesting to see how many bids. All the talk about the conferences, power conferences being down, at least at this point. But there is more to get to on the basketball front, maybe from the NBA level, though. Carmelo Anthony could be on the move. According to the Bergen Record, the Nets and Nuggets have agreed on a deal that would send Anthony to New Jersey. The holdup is an extension. The Nets want Melo to sign a 3-year, $65 million deal to complete the trade. And this is exactly how it would play out if the deal and that extension does get signed. Now, the Nets, of course, they get Anthony, Chauncey Billups, Sheldon Williams, Melvin Ely, and Ronaldo Balkman from the Nuggets. In return, New Jersey would send 4 players, including point guard Devin Harris, rookie Derek Favors, and Troy Murphy, not to mention 4 first-round picks would head to Denver. Here's Carmelo Anthony on a potential deal.
I haven't been presented with any deals from any team. The only thing that I've been presented with or that I've seen was what you guys see on TV.
Would you sign an extension with New Jersey?
Well, that's something I have to think about, deeply. It's a lot of things that comes into play, when dealing with an extension. I don't want to go somewhere and be a rental for two months and then have to deal with this all over again. I don't want to do that. I can't sit here and say, I want to go here or I want to go there. I really can't do that.
A very coy Carmelo Anthony.
Politically correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be noted, by the way, the New York Daily News is saying that the Knicks owner, that's James Dolan, actually met with Carmelo Anthony in Los Angeles Thursday night. And this despite the fact that the Nets and the Nuggets, right at this point, have a deal in place. Now, you know Carmelo Anthony. You were at his wedding this past summer. You know what kind of guy he is. Compare the fit between New Jersey and New York for a guy like Carmelo.
Well, first off, I don't think he would want to go to a team like the Nets without the likes of a Devin Harris or Derek Favors. And I think at this juncture of his career, I don't think it's about the money for Carmelo. I think Carmelo wants to win. And it wouldn't surprise me if he lets this whole 3-year, $65 million extension just fall off the table. And if I was Carmelo, I would take my chances, wait for free agency this summer, sign with the team, and hopefully go to your team of your choice, like the New York Knicks. He wants to play with Amar'e Stoudemire. I mean, that's one thing that Chris Paul talked about at his wedding. He grabbed the mic and said, listen, there's been combining of powers going on down in Miami. Why don't we combine powers right here in New York City?
Cocktail hour at the wedding was good?
It was decent, but imagine that trio. Imagine that trio. You have Carmelo Anthony, Amar'e Stoudemire, and then Chris Paul. That's an amazing trio that can compare and compete with the likes of Miami.
The three Kings down in Miami certainly at least setting the bar, although they haven't beaten the Boston Celtics at this point this season. There's still more to come at the break. If it was a double overtime throw last time out, you're hoping for it again. Jay will tell you the key between UConn and Louisville in a Big East battle tonight.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lexus. This is the hard way. This is the pursuit of perfection. And the Capital One Cup. Learn more and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Not all steel is created equal. Not all manufacturing processes are created equal. Not all engineering standards are created equal, which is why not all luxury vehicles are created equal. The hard way means never taking shortcuts. The hard way is how Lexus inspires absolute confidence. This is the pursuit of perfection. See what it takes at Lexus.com the hard way.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
You have been in a coma.
It's me, your husband.
This is my husband.
I don't know who this man is, but he has taken everything from me. You have to arrest him, or many people will die.
Unknown, rated PG-13. Chili's Wild or Mild entrees are perfect for any craving. Go wild with our new Blazing Big Mouth Bites, or peppercorn-crusted mini burgers kicked up with jalapenos. Or stay mild with our original Big Mouth Bites, topped with Applewood smoked bacon. Choose wild or mild, only at Chili's.
Johnson & Johnson issued a worldwide recall of almost 100,000 defective DePuy hip implants. These hip replacements can cause excruciating pain. If you've had a DePuy hip replacement and it's been removed or it's causing you problems, call Parliament & Associates right now to file your claim. The recall was ordered due to a high rate of failure and the possibility of increased levels of metal ion in the blood. So if you've had a hip replacement, we realize you may not know the name brand, but if it was DePuy, you may qualify for financial compensation. Parliament & Associates can help you if you've had a hip replacement. So call us right now, as you may be entitled to financial compensation. That's DePuy hip replacements used between 2005 and 2010. So call us now to file your claim. Call 1-800-391-8000. That's 1-800-391-8000. Call Parliament & Associates Law Firm right now. 1-800-391-8000.
Back at the half, Mike Yam and Jay Williams with you, and it's what to watch for 9 Eastern time tonight on ESPN. 12th-ranked UConn visiting 16th-ranked Louisville. Cardinals, they won the first meeting this season, double overtime in Stores, just 2 wins in their last 5 games since. UConn, they've righted the ship as of late, winning their last 2 after a 1-3 slump prior to this season. Now, the big bad Big East certainly top-heavy right now, and a slew of teams at 8-5, including these two. Mentioned this before, double overtime the last time these two teams met up. When you look at this one, are you expecting another tight game?
I'm expecting a great basketball game if it's anywhere close to what the game was before. And in that last ball game in Stores, Kemba Walker really struggled. He had 20 points, but he was 7 of 23 from the field. And also, Peyton Siva for Louisville did a great job in every screen and roll situation, just picking that big man apart. And that's the style of basketball that Louisville wants to play. Listen, in all of their wins, they've shot in 38% or better from the three-point line. And also, they're really good at pushing the ball in transition. They make 10 three-point shots a game. That's how they play. And then for UConn, they need Kemba Walker to get back on page. The last 2 games, listen to these stats, Mike Yam. Last 2 games in wins versus Providence and Georgetown. He shot 61% from the field, 64% from the three-point line, averaging 27 points per game, 8.5 assists per game, and 6.5 rebounds. I think he's taking shots within the confines of the offense, high-efficient shots. I talked to Kevin Ollie, the assistant coach of UConn, earlier today, and he said one of the keys in order for them to beat this matchup zone that Louisville played so well against them in the first game, they have to take high-efficient shots. They can't turn the ball over and allow Louisville to push the ball in transition.
You know, it's interesting that you bring up Kemba Walker because there was so much talk about National Player of the Year, and then it sort of died down a little bit because he was in a funk. But as you just mentioned, last couple games, Kemba on the attack, and they're going to need him big tonight. Obviously.
And also in their wins, Charles Akwandu and Alex Oriaki have had big-time games. They need that inside presence to work inside out instead of being a perimeter-dominated basketball.
They didn't have the help for Kemba in the early goings, and now all of a sudden, Jim Calhoun's got some other pieces he can go to. Certainly a good thing for UConn fans. All right, well, still to come. Second half action between VCU and Wichita State. That's Jamie Skeen. He's got 10 at the half. He had 14 in his last 2 games combined.
Not all steel is created equal. Not all manufacturing processes are created equal. Not all engineering standards are created equal. Which is why not all luxury vehicles are created equal. The hard way means never taking shortcuts. The hard way is how Lexus inspires absolute confidence. This is the pursuit of perfection. See what it takes at Lexus.com the hard way.
It's beautiful. It's intelligent. Even genius. But does your network work?
Yes, I can hear you now.
This is America's largest and most reliable network, Verizon, built so you can rule the air.
Dear PlayStation, Killzone 3 better be good. For me, most shooters are like shooting fish in a barrel.
Well, if by barrel you mean an apocalyptic planet where explosions rock you like a day-old street taco on an empty stomach, and by fish you mean a Jillian Hellgas bent on ensuring your last meal is 5 courses of hot lead washed down with a glass of bittersweet helplessness, then yeah, fish in a barrel. Clean up. ILU.
Killzone 3, rated M for mature.
PlayStation.
It's enormous. Guitar Center's massive President's Day weekend sale. Deals too big to miss. The season's biggest sale of musical gear. Huge savings now through Monday. Like for the first time ever, American-made Gibson Les Paul Juniors just $5.99. Sennheiser Studio headphones just $19. Or ProMark drumsticks just $2 a pair. Hurry! Guitar Center's gigantic savings end Monday night. Guitar Center, in-store or online.
Trouble, 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 trouble. Trouble been dogging my soul since the day I was born. Worry, oh, worry, 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 worry.
When it comes to things you care about, leave nothing to chance. Travelers, take the scary out of life.
Mike Yam and Jay Williams with you. And Bracket Buster Saturday coming up tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. All you got to do, park yourself in front of the couch. 11 a.m. Eastern time. You're not going to have to move till after midnight. ESPNU with 4 games. ESPN2 with 4 more, including a ranked matchup between Utah State and St. Mary's.
Should be interesting considering Utah State does not have a signature win, and St. Mary's coming off that horrible loss against San Diego, which is 1-10 in conference play.
Oh, Jay, there is one thing we're doing right now. We are chasing history on ESPN3.com. FIU, they have Southeastern Louisiana. The Golden Panthers, Garrett Whittle's taking a 56-game hitting streak into the season opener. He's 0 for 1 at this point. Remember the record, 58 held by Robin Ventura, who did it back in 1987 for Oklahoma State.
Baseball season already? What's going on with my Yankees?
It's starting to get a little, my Mets, how about that? Other news and notes for you. Danica Patrick becomes the 3rd different woman in the Nationwide Series history to start in the front 2 rows when she begins tomorrow's NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Daytona, presented by GoDaddy.com for the 4th position. Don't forget, NASCAR Countdown, ESPN2, noon tomorrow. And the Colts, they released the 2007 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Bob Sanders. Still to come, second half action. JT Turley, he's got some points right now. And more importantly, he needs a comeback right now. Wichita State down. Break.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by American Airlines. Travel to over 250 cities in 40 countries on American Airlines. And Duracell, trusted everywhere.
The City of Lights and non-stop action. It's a perfect match. Vegas and the ESPN National Golf Challenge. Grab your partner and challenge talented golfers from all around the country to become America's best twosome. Talk to your club professional. And don't miss the 2011 edition right here at the Las Vegas Paiute Golf Resort. It's the only sure thing around. For more information, log on to ESPNGolf.com.
And if you go with us, it'll be a win-win.
Certainly will.
I think this could be a win-win.
Maybe. This is going to be a win-win.
Win-win. A what? A win-win. You should say win-win. Use a hyphen. You know what this is?
A win-win?
A home run.
That's my next guess.
Win-win. Win-win.
Drink?
Man, this trip was great. I mean, I'm just pumped.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
You ready?
Born ready.
Beyond ready.
Was ready yesterday.
Was ready last week.
Last month. Last year.
My ready is so ready.
So ready. Your ready didn't even start getting ready.
Always ready. My ready ain't your ready for breakfast.
You're ready.
Got nothing on my ready.
Ready for him, her, it, that.
You.
My ready.
My ready. My ready.
My ready.
My ready.
Is gonna kick your ready's butt.
There's Ready, and then there's Gillette Ready. Introducing the Gillette Young Guns, class of 2011.
You ready?
The Land Rover LR4.
I feel duped. I feel
cheated.
Every month is a different story.
That's why I needed to switch to Vonage.
My folks are in India, my parents and my sister. We don't catch up on what happened this week. It's what are you doing today?
Without Vonage, I wouldn't be able to talk to my mom on a regular basis.
When you switch to Vonage, you can save so much money.
I'm Sankarsh Bala, and this was my last bill before I switched to Vonage.
Switch your old phone to Vonage today and get unlimited domestic and international calling now with no annual contract.
We welcome you back to ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Sears Bracket Busters. VCU taking on Wichita State, coming away from Charles Koch Arena here in Wichita, Kansas. VCU shot 56% from the field, including 7 of 10 from three-point range, and they are on top by 7 as we get set for the second half. Rob Stone, Bob Valvano here with you, and I spoke with Wichita State head coach Greg Marshall just seconds ago. I asked him, Coach, what was your message in the locker room? He said it was loud and I can't repeat it. VCU beat Wichita State at their own game in the first half.
They got to the offensive glass, and they made them get back on their heels, largely because of the play of their point guard, Joey Rodriguez, who, and we gave you this number at the top. When they lose, he makes more turnovers than he has assists. When they win, his ratio is about 3-1. How would you like 9-1 in the first half? 9 assists, 1 turnover, and look at the variety of ways he's getting them. Dribbling right, throwing left, throwing right, getting in the lane in transition, throwing it around the defense. He chipped in 7 points and also had 2 offensive rebounds. He really gave them a lift in the first half when they needed it.
And VCU starting the second half of the ball, and they quickly turn it over. Joe Ragland with 2 fouls, back working the point for Wichita State. He was really missed. Ragland from 3, short. And a 1 and done for the Shockers. But a travel after the rebound by Bradford Burgess as we take a look at our first half stats, and VCU a slow start, and then they just lit it up from the floor.
That's the number that screams at you, though. 20-13 against the Shocker team that has a +9 ratio rebounds. But, you know, you want to make it half full or half empty. With all their troubles, they're only down 7 at home. And so still plenty of time to get back in this.
Durley won't go. Offensive board falls to Murray. Easy bucket.
And a second chance bucket as well. That's significant.
And VCU storming down the court and turning it over again. Murray with the trailer takes it himself. A quick 4 for Murray. Just the start the Shockers needed. Timeout VCU. Wichita State needing a spark. They've got it. They're within 3.
This President's Day weekend, take advantage of Sears' Big Home Appliance Savings Event. Get 30% off all Kenmore appliances and get 15% off all other brands. Plus, save $800 on this Kenmore French door bottom freezer with ice and water dispenser. And get 40% off this Kenmore conventional washer. Hurry into Sears for these incredible savings. Search Sears Appliances for our everyday best prices guaranteed. Sears.
This isn't New York City. Or the Windy City. Or Sin City. And we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City. And this is what we do.
When you're a stunt woman, work can be pretty unpredictable, from knowing when my next job will be to what I'll actually be doing. So in the rest of my life, I like control, especially in my finances. That's why I have Slate with Blueprint. I can make a plan to pay off everyday things and avoid interest, or pay down my balance faster on the big stuff. That saves money. With Slate from Chase, I have everything under control.
You're gonna get
financially.
Debit card control, credit card flexibility. Get both with Slate.
I also will my private jet, my island in the Maldives, and full control of the family business to my soulmate, Angel. Finally, to my only son, Chauncey, I bequeath my DirecTV and its vast collection of 6,000 shows and movies.
DirecTV now gives you instant access to 6,000 shows and movies at no extra charge.
Yeah! Whoa! Thank you! Yeah!
Don't just watch TV. DirecTV.
ESPN College Game Day, tomorrow on ESPNU and ESPN.
Wichita State was down 7 at the half, 48 seconds later, and 3 VCU turnovers. They've made it even tighter.
Well, this is an unusual use of the board. Standard timeouts. The coach goes and stands in front of his bench. The players come over and rally around him. The reserves stand over here. Not when you're Greg Marshall, though, and you've got the emotion that he has. He runs to midcourt and talks to all 4 corners of the arena. He is an emotional guy. Take a look at what happened as they went to the last timeout break. Here's the play that triggers the emotion. In the corner, great hustle play. In transition, the look off, take it to the bucket and score. Forces Shaka Smart to call timeout. Here's Greg Marshall. He says, come on, help me here. Let's get involved. sold-out crowd responds to their leader.
If only he could give us a sign that he was into this game. A 4-0 personal two-Ray Murray run has brought the Shockers within 3.
Well, now this is the challenge. You know you're going to face a good team in a sold-out building. You're going to have to respond. Let's see what the Rams have.
And this is a game you could argue very easily that the Rams need more than the Shockers to improve their NCAA tournament resume. Rodriguez with a little floater through the lane. He now has 9 points to match his 9 assists.
Oh, that was so good, Rob, because there was a little paralysis by analysis. Greg Marshall went to a little zone there. No guy standing around. He just took it to the seam and scored.
6-foot Joe Ragland down low, the easy lefty lay-in. He now has 8.
Greg Marshall calling one. He wants his guys to stay in this. Not sure what it is exactly. I think it's a 2-3 where they just pick up the ball high. Let's take a look. That could be disguising a man-to-man here. But as we said, Rodriguez, the only guy who's playing with any kind of energy. They've got VCU back on their heels. This has been a very, very lethargic possession.
Brazil with a lot of time on the shot clock with a deep effort from three-point land won't go. Well, here's Ragland feeling it.
That defense clearly did what it was supposed to.
Murray in and out. Rodriguez, a little spin, and then coughs it up, gets it back. Lucky break for the Rams.
But nobody has played with any sense of confidence the last 3 possessions. They're not sure what's going on defensively. Now it's man-to-man. Just go back and run your stuff. There it is.
Nice ball. The freshman with the flush. A 7-footer from California with a little dunk to quiet this crowd.
Yeah, Rodriguez did the heavy lifting there, though. He really did.
Assist number 10 for Rodriguez. And a turnover on Wichita State. Fifth turnover on the home team. ESPN, your home court of college hoops, has a doubleheader tomorrow presented by 5 Hour Energy at noon. Pittsburgh, number 4 in the land, heading to New York City to take on St. John's. After that one, the number 1 team in the land, Kansas, to take on Colorado.
He says, I don't care what you're playing. I'm just going through it.
Another assist for Rodriguez, the easy dunk for Reddick.
I mean, that's the way to play in terms of don't overthink the game. It's not really the way Wichita State likes to play. They don't extend that much. He made them pay for it.
Ragland.
He's been good, though, huh?
Certainly has a lot of time on the bench for Ragland in the first half.
Got 3 threes, though, and 11 points.
Starter only had 6 minutes on the court in the first half.
Only 2 fouls, though, Rob. It wasn't a matter of performance. It was foul trouble.
And 2 early fouls. Rodriguez, 3-ball, won't match. So Ragland with the ball, the only Shocker in double figures tonight. He has 11. Durley travel. Turnover number 6 on Wichita State.
This is impressive for VCU, and I'll tell you why, Rob. I don't know if you'd agree, but having done this point in the season, so many different games, and seen, I don't know, 50-some-odd teams, the ones that are really separating themselves are the ones that, when it gets off the rails, can get it back on quickly. Everybody gets knocked off the rails, but how quickly can you right the ship? And there's a lot of really good teams that really have had a hard time doing that. VCU with a good response here.
Yeah. 4-0 burst for Wichita State to start the second half, pulled them within 3, and VCU able to regroup.
There's a wide open look.
The lead at 4. It will remain that way for the time being.
That's not a good shot, though, but the hustle play to get it back.
And they get it back again. And Coach Shaka Smart slowing things down. Joey Rodriguez on the bench, so Darius Theus working the point, number 10.
He played 19 minutes in the first half, Rodriguez. They got to give him a little blow here.
Jumper. Zell won't go. Murray with the rebound. Ragland, the kick out. Redick with the foul. His third foul. Joey Rodriguez had 9 assists in the first half. He's up to 11 already. VCU on the road, up by 4.
This President's Day weekend, take advantage of Sears' big home appliance savings event. Get 30% off all Kenmore appliances and get 15% off all other brands. Plus, save $800 on this Kenmore French door bottom freezer with ice and water dispenser and get 40% off this Kenmore conventional washer. Hurry into Sears for these incredible savings. Search Sears Appliances for our everyday best prices guaranteed. Sears.
They're coming. Seems like from every wireless carrier. You may have heard them already. The doubtcasting, the empty comparisons. While they shout them at the top of their lungs to try to blur the lines. In the end, just ask yourself, does the network work? This is America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon. Built so you can rule the air.
Why do we go through so much hassle for our morning coffee? We wait for it, make it, fuss with it, carry it around. There has to be a faster and easier way to get your morning wake up. There is. 5-Hour Energy. It's the morning wake up you don't have to make, wait for, or hassle with. And it really works. Just open it up and knock it back.
That was fast and easy.
5-Hour Energy. The no wait, no hassle way to a great morning.
Today, they have taken my wife. They have taken everything from me.
Prepare.
Who the hell are you?
To face.
You don't remember anything, do you?
The unknown.
I remember how to kill you.
Unknown. Rated PG-13.
These pretzel M&Ms are really good.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to stop eating them myself. Guess that's how I ended up with this pretzel inside me. You know what they say, you are what you eat, right?
You are what you eat. What a bunch of malarkey.
Rob Stone, Bob Valvano, welcome you back to Game 1 of this year's edition of the Sears Bracket Busters on ESPN. VCU on top by 4. State of Kansas, pretty good place to find college basketball. You have the #1 team in the land in Kansas, who will be in action tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ESPN. They just lost, though, to Kansas State. And then you could make an argument, Bob, that Wichita State is the second best team in the state. Those numbers may not totally back it up right now, though.
Well, the strength of schedule is where you notice the biggest difference, of course, right there. But, I mean, they are, hey, anyway you slice it, I'll save you the math. It's 63 and 16 combined. They're the only Division I programs in the state of Kansas. You can see why basketball is so hugely popular here.
Ellis with the offensive board. And a foul on the floor. That'll be on Skeen.
You know, Bruce Pearl uses a term that I think is interesting when you talk about the best programs. Is Kansas State a better program? I mean, the league is clearly tougher. Maybe they are a better program. But Bruce likes to say the NCAA tournament is really supposed to be, or should it be, about the most deserving programs. I think there's something to be said for that. It's not, I mean, you can't contend that a team that wins a very, very low Division I program is better than some of the teams at the bottom of the power conferences. But, you know, that's the beauty of the event.
Turnaround jumper going glass is Durley.
As our star watch, you see why. Again, needed a bucket there, and they just powered it inside, and he made the turnaround. And this crowd is loud.
And Durley now in double figures with 10.
Doing this with a extended run here without Joey Rodriguez, who's been having a huge game. Shocker's showing zone here. Needs a kick in this corner. That's a force. When he got hurt, too. Literally injury to insult, I guess, for Nixon. Holding his shoulder.
His shoulder and his pride wounded on that effort.
Well, the problem is, if you take a look, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, in the corner over there is a wide-open teammate. He goes inside, a good, strong move in the lane. You see him holding his shoulder right there.
Big rejection by Durley. Just 2 on the shot clock.
Joey Rodriguez has come back.
Rodriguez unable to get it off.
Well, we talked about the ability to get it on track when it gets wobbly. This will be the ultimate challenge for the Rams because this place is rocking. And the coach is a tad emotional as well. Good ball move.
Murray, strong take, blocked. Big defensive stand by the Rams.
Skeen, how about that defensive stand? And a wide open look here.
Burgess drops it.
They are a resilient bunch coming off 2 home losses, which could have been, and they may still prove to be devastating in their postseason chances. But what a strong bounce back game here on the road.
Thiel with the rebound. Rodriguez.
Well, he's having a very, very solid game, Rodriguez. You can see the whole confidence of the team, the way they get in the half court when he's out there. Oh, look at that.
There's something from the Harlem Globetrotters.
And now he's officially got his double-double. Well, that quieted things down. Back to 7.
14th time Rodriguez has been in double figures this season with points.
Nice cut by Ellis. Good flash to the high post. Won't bounce it there. Catch and goes right up. But still, I mean, it was back to 7. That's what it was at halftime. For all the excitement, they haven't made up any ground. They're right back trying to dig themselves out of the hole. With that, it gets to 5.
Good box out. Ragland with it for Wichita State. Durley, the big man. Look at Ellis working hard. The tip back, count it! Ben Smith!
Did I just say it was quiet in here?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Bob. Skeen with the offensive board and put back. It won't go, but he'll pick up the foul.
Sometimes it's not about strategy, Rob. It's just about effort and second effort and third effort. And here are the Shockers getting rewarded for their effort on the glass.
How does the new GMC Sierra PowerTech go to work? With a 5.3-liter V8, an Eaton automatic lock-and rear differential, Bluetooth connectivity, and 3 months of XM radio. The engineers at GMC put more into the new Sierra PowerTech so you can get more out of it. And now get more when you use your $1,495 PowerTech discount to get a total value of $6,000 on the 2011 GMC Sierra.
ESPN, the home court of college hoops, pits 2 championship-winning coaches in a special Friday night matchup. The high-flying Kyle Kuric and the 16th-ranked Cardinals prevailed after a thrilling double-overtime game versus the Huskies last month. Now, Kemba Walker and number 12 UConn look to even the score as both teams fight for a top spot in the Big East.
Got it for 3!
Connecticut versus Louisville, tonight at 9 on ESPN.
Rated E for everyone. Introducing the Body and Brain Connection, only on Connect for Xbox 360. With fun, fast-paced mini games from math and memory skills to logic and reflexes. Become the controller and challenges specially designed to test your brain age. A new brain training experience that uses your entire body. Body and Brain Connection, available February 2011. Only on Connect for Xbox 360.
To San Francisco without me.
Hey, you ran Paris yesterday.
Are you running uphill?
Yep. It does whatever the street does.
Well, hurry up, okay? Because I want to run through Central Park.
Ooh, another flat run.
With iFit powered by Google Maps, run anywhere on your treadmill's 10-inch touchscreen. And now save $1,000 on the ProForm 1450. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Mike M in studio with you, and don't forget, 9 Eastern time, top of the hour on ESPN. It's UConn and Louisville. Kemba Walker averaging more than 23 points per game, 7th in the nation. He always 2 of 10 from 3 last time he played Louisville. You think he's got to be a lot better in this matchup. Chasing history on ESPN3.com. Garrett Whittles and FIU, they have Southeastern Louisiana. 0 for 2 now in the game for Whittles. He's trying to make it 57 straight games. That hitting streak just a couple shy now. Robin Ventura at 58. Guys?
Thank you. You talked about UConn coming up at 9 Eastern on ESPN, and Kemba Walker, boy, he had a big outing in Maui versus this Wichita State team back in November. Ture Murray had 19 for the Shockers. David Kiles had 18, but it was Kemba Walker, 29 of his 31 points in the second half as UConn pulled away to win by 4. A game that Coach Marshall brought up to us today during the shoot-around, was less than happy with maybe some of the calls that did and didn't happen in that game.
Well, they got, I believe they were outshot from the free throw line somewhere in the neighborhood of 41-14. But this is the stat that jumps at me. Look at that. They've had 3 losses by 1 possession, and the other one, that UConn game, was 4. And frankly, Rob, they were ahead for most of that game. I mean, they are probably 5 possessions away from being a 1-loss team. It's that small, the separation in college basketball now. It really is.
Again, Joe Lunardi has Wichita State right now as a 12 seed, one of 2 teams from the Missouri Valley Conference to go to the NCAA tournament.
I believe those were the first 2 free throws of the game for the Rams. He makes 1 of 2, so certainly doing it the hard way in that regard, not getting to the line. Pretty clean game. Wichita State hasn't exactly had a parade there themselves. They've only shot 7 free throws.
Murray to Williams, who's working the point. He goes down low to the big man. Stutz off the bench. Tough ball to handle for Murray.
What a nice defensive play on the weak side. Rozelle really did a good job getting down there quickly. It was the right pass. Stutz took the right look. And as he tried to throw it, Rozelle just hustled in there and closed that window and forced the turnover.
7th turnover of the game on Wichita State.
There goes the little dynamo today. He's been very, very good, the senior.
Rodriguez, 11 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three-point range.
And just the confident feel when he's out there. And great strip. What a terrific defensive play. Saved a layup.
But it's Rodriguez who comes back up with it for the Rams.
Blair, quick hands. That should have been an easy stick back. Saved one there. A stagger screen on the baseline.
Rodriguez in the paint, layup, gets it to roll in.
What a nice possession that was. Good flow. 4 different guys handled the ball. 2 ball reverses. Rodriguez with a good decision on the dribble drive.
Foul down low on Haley's. He fouled Stutz. This Cornell Athletic Association is a solid league this year. When you have a team like VCU that's sitting in 3rd place technically.
It is a very, very competitive league. And there's going to be a bunch of teams in the postseason. Of course, they won the CBI last year. But you have the idea. I mean, last year, they were disappointed they didn't even get an NIT bid after that outstanding season. But they channeled that into a good postseason run to win the CBI.
George Mason on top of the CAA right now. Big 3-pointer from Williams. George Mason in action tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern as they're at Northern Iowa.
Boy, we talked about the resilience of the Rams. The Shockers showing it as well. Down 7, they cut it to 2, back down 7 again. Now they've cut it to 3. How many times can the Rams hold them off?
Rodriguez.
Good kick.
Burgess won't go. Rebound goes to Stutz.
Who had a great block out there. Just what they needed. Changing defenses and forcing a missed shot does you nothing unless you check off.
Murray to Stutz, wide open. Fouled from behind by the little guy. Rodriguez at a generous 5'10", hacking the 7-footer. First foul on Rodriguez.
Pretty good possession for the big fella Stutz. Take a look. Look at that good position there. Perfect textbook block out. And then he runs the floor at the other end, hustles down. Defense loses him. He gives the good big target and forces Rodriguez to foul him.
Stutz a pretty good free throw shooter, 72%. And without fail.
He made his first two earlier in the game.
Number 10, Theus.
Rodriguez heads to the pine again.
Theus and Skeen come on the court for VCU. Stutz to try and pull Wichita State within 2. They trailed by 7 at the break. So Stutz now with 5 points and some pressure here by the Shockers.
Without Rodriguez in the game. Nice job by Skeen. Made the simple pass, and they back it back out the trigger right now.
Theus. Williams all over him. Burgess.
That's where it's supposed to go, inside. Great strip.
Murray comes up with it. And a foul. Redick. They have fouled him. Fourth foul on Redick.
Rob, what they were doing was trying to drag the top defender to one side, reverse the ball, then swing it back and throw it to the post. They actually eventually got it to the post, but terrific job of coming down and helping by Murray. He got the strip. Forced not only the turnover, but the foul.
So Redick will check out, and the 7-foot freshman DJ Haley, who made his first career start, comes back on the court for the Rams.
Actually, Blair was the initial guy to go in there and help. He's very quietly giving them some contributions, even though not a lot of numbers.
Chance to tie or take the lead for the Shockers. Murray blocked by the 7-footer. Theus stripped. The 7-footer comes up with it. Wichita State with numbers. Williams out of control, travel, lost his footing. And that is something that Coach Marshall was telling us about at shoot-around. He likes the way Williams plays when he's under control, which isn't all the time.
Well, he made a great, he's the one that actually prevented the bucket at the other end, got all the way back, but you can see he goes to Plant right there.
I think stepped on the foot.
Might have. Of the defender. And quickly, Shaka Smart says, let me get Joey back in there.
Wise decision. Rodriguez fouled there by Kyles. ESPN, your home court for college hoops. Great game coming up in a matter of minutes. Number 12, UConn. Number 16, Louisville, live on ESPN, ESPN3.com, and your phone. Boy, that Big East is just an absolute bloodbath every single night.
Never seen anything like it. I looked at the Sagarin ratings, which are another credible source, and the 11th place team, which at the time I looked was Marquette in the league, is 33rd in the country in the Sagarins. Think about that for a minute.
Well, the good thing about being in the Big East is your strength of schedule is always good. That's kind of a good thing, bad thing at the same time. Rodriguez gives up his dribble.
Wearing him out on the high ball screens and then trying to let him make the good decisions. Here comes another one, I would think.
We're under 8 minutes from Wichita.
Well, it's in a high post, and they make a cut. Good defensive possession by the Shockers. Gave him nothing.
Ragland. For the tie, blocked. Jamie Skeen, the team's leading scorer, with the big block for VCU.
Really, they're just one or two passes short. They're too anxious. They got to get one that you know as soon as the guy goes up and takes it, you're saying that's the one that he wants. That might have hit Joey Rodriguez on the way out. That's a tough one.
Ragland with the quick hands. It'll stay with VCU. The youngsters and the mature Shocker fans not in favor. Their team down by 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Sears and the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job.
This President's Day weekend, take advantage of Sears' Big Home Appliance Savings Event. Get 30% off all Kenmore appliances and get 15% off all other brands. Plus, save $800 on this Kenmore French door bottom freezer with ice and water dispenser and get 40% off this Kenmore conventional washer. Hurry into Sears for these incredible savings. Search Sears Appliances for our everyday best prices guaranteed. Sears.
London?
Oh, it's amazing.
Dad, can I use the car?
Let me check.
Introducing the OnStar MyLink mobile app. It lets you check and control your lacrosse right from your smartphone, from almost anywhere.
Okay, but
Promise to have it back by 10.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey, I'll start it up for you.
Seriously.
Oh, come on.
Now lease this 2011 Buick LaCrosse. Consumers Digest Best Buy for $359 per month.
Try this.
For the first time at McDonald's, your two favorite flavors together. New McCafe Caramel Mocha.
Well, what do you guys think? Perfect.
The simple joy of sweet harmony.
Welcome back to Geico Radio. It's savings on the radio.
Cooler Steve. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just got a free rate quote on Geico.com. Saved a ton, and it only took me 5 minutes and 12 seconds. I was wondering, is that some sort of record?
That's a good question. Let's have a look.
Not quite. Someone's got you beat by 8 seconds.
Still, I mean, that's quite fast.
Well, what if I told you I only use one hand?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
10,506. Another sellout here at Charles Koch Arena in Wichita, Kansas, as we welcome you back to ESPN's coverage of the 2011 Sears Bracket Busters. Rob Stone, Bob Valvano with you. VCU in a three-way tie for second place in the Colonial Athletic Association. Wichita State in a tie for first with Missouri State. Joe Lunardi right now has Wichita State going to the big dance. VCU on the outside looking in for right now, which means this is a very important road game late in the season for VCU to try and improve their NCAA tournament resume, and they will have the ball on a call that probably should have gone Wichita State's way.
It looked like it hit Joey Rodriguez's leg as it was going out of bounds, but they get it back. They scored, remember, in the first half on a baseline out of bounds play, and we said games like this are often decided in situations like that. See if they can convert here. Good defense, though. Nixon way out. Short shot clock.
Nixon from three. We've gone over 2 minutes without either team scoring. Great help from the backside by Nixon.
It was, but you can't throw a pass that high. The ball's in the air too long. Nixon did make a great reaction, though.
Rodriguez bumped as he was coming down. Won't go. Trying to plead his case to no avail. And again, Wichita State. They have not led yet this half. They have an opportunity again to tie it or take the lead.
Sometimes the game demands you grind. They got to grind one here. Move the basketball. Get some ball reverses. Make the extra cut. Going to wind up with a short shot clock and a quick hitter here. Here it goes.
5 on the shot clock. Ragland, the righty, short, follow, put back. No dice, no rim.
Not a good possession. You know, it's a all or nothing on the drive with 7 on the shot clock. They need to be more aggressive in their ball movement. They got too many offensive weapons to be that easy to defend. Not a great possession at the other end either, really. Burgess with an aggressive move, but no real room to work there. Admire the defense is stepping up, but the offenses are making it a little bit easy for them.
Foul on Burgess.
Number 20.
His second.
His second. 16th foul.
Shaka Smart with a lot of coaching to do here in the final 5:41. This is a game that his team really needs if they want to have a shot at the NCAA tournament.
See how the pace and the production has slowed down. It was 45-38 at the half. So the Rams have only 14 points here. 19-14. Much lower rate of production here for the Michigan.
Murray, short. Smith, the follow. Foul.
That's on 31, Veal. His first
Foul on Veal.
Really, foul trouble is not even a storyline today. Been so few fouls, so few free throw attempts.
4 minutes since we've had a point in this game. Some sloppy offensive possessions.
Impatient offense. Lots of energy, but not much execution.
Smith in double figures, one more, and we'll have our third tie of the evening.
What a great way to start Bracket Busters. Two teams, a lot on the line, and laying it out on the line here.
It's the first of 11 Bracket Buster games over the course of the next 3 days. And we are tied in Wichita.
So psychologically, I mean, really, 5:26 to go, 1-point game, we're tied. Not that significant, but just that emotional sense of all that work. And the crowd really responded when that second free throw went in. They changed defenses again, Wichita State, into that zone. Matchup zone extended. Rodriguez has been the one guy who's flashed to a seam and made things happen.
Open corner jumper, Burgess from 3, in and out.
Big time rebound by Gurley. Just what you'd expect from your senior. Sense the moment. Somebody had to go hard to the glass.
Murray with 15 on the shot clock.
They're really relying on all one-on-ones late in the shot clock, though. That's a dangerous way to live or die.
Murray picks up the foul.
Oh, bailout foul.
That'll be on Nixon.
Nixon's a terrific defender, and he's not buying it. But I think it was a pretty good fake by Murray. Heady play late in the shot clock.
Third foul on Nixon.
Take a look here. You see 5 on the shot clock up there. Now down to 4. Gives him an up fake. And then starts his drive and initiates the contact. But that defender, when he gets up in the air like that, more often than not, the officials are going to call that foul.
Murray, one of the team's better free throw shooters, about 81% from the line.
And Nixon, I mean, what he's arguing is valid. You see, he made the gesture, hey, I was just jumping straight up. The defender is allowed to jump straight up. The offensive player can't take away what's called his predetermined spot of landing. But as I said, the reality is you get caught up in the air like that, you are going to get called for the foul more often than you won't.
Murray with 8. Wichita State on an 8-0 run. They lead for the first time tonight in the second half.
Rodriguez has been the only one who's really made an aggressive move against this matchup zone. He's flashed from the weak side to the high post. Right there, that's where they've looked for him.
It's been over 6 minutes since VCU last scored. Rodriguez loses it.
That defense has really knocked him off balance. Great move by Greg Marshall to go to it and change the whole momentum of the game.
Stolen back by Murray. And then re-stolen. Quick hands by Rozelle. Nixon thinking about it. A frantic pace here as Wichita State has taken their first lead of the second half. A huge scoreless drought for VCU. Shockers on top by 2.
How does the new GMC Sierra PowerTech go to work? With a 5.3-liter V8, an Eaton automatic lock and rear differential, Bluetooth connectivity, and 3 months of XM radio. The engineers at GMC put more into the new Sierra PowerTech so you can get more out of it. Get 0% financing for 60 months when you purchase a 2011 Sierra.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
I'm going to have one of these under 550 calorie meals.
It's Applebee's unbelievably great tasting and under 550 calories menu. Great tasting, generous new dishes starting at $8.99. It's all the taste and none of the trade-offs. Only at Applebee's. There's no place like the neighborhood. Open until midnight or later.
Where to go for a quiet getaway?
Thanks to the Orbitz Matrix display, you can make more knowledgeable decisions when booking vacation packages. See all your hotel and flight options and savings for the ideal vacation.
Perfect.
When you Orbitz, you know.
Yes! I got the boss's tickets on Saturday. Football! We're saying snow on Saturday, too. Record lows. Old school, the frozen tundra. Winter warriors on a merciless field. Hands frozen numb.
You know, I'd sell those tickets if I were you.
What?
Oh, yeah. You can get good money for those.
Who says the best seat at the game has to be at the game? If it's Lane, it's right in your living room.
Yeah, we see you.
Get the best seat at the game at lanegame.com.
Mike Hammond studio with you. Coming up at 9 Eastern time, it's UConn Louisville. A couple Hall of Famers. Bob Knight, Eddie Crum getting ready for this one. Of course, it's going to be played on ESPN. Double overtime thriller last time the two teams hooked up. Here's now a preview of what's to come a little bit later on ESPN2.
Join us after the game for Friday Night Fights. It includes 17-0 Sean Porter in our opening bout. And then the hometown hero here in Salisbury, Maryland, 20-0 blue chip prospect Fernando Guerrero on Friday Night Fights after the game.
All right, Joe, we look forward to your call of Friday Night Fights. That one in 3D tonight, oh, by the way. And we've got a great one brewing here in Wichita. The Shockers on top by 2 as we approach 3.5 to go in this one. And VCU has gone almost 7 minutes without a point.
Yeah, they scored a Joey Rodriguez layup to take a 59-53 lead with more than 10 minutes to play. Since then, they've made 6 turnovers and only gotten 7 shots away.
Burgess bullies his way down low, counted, and the foul.
Just would not be denied right there. Fake the handoff to Rodriguez. Watch the little fake handoff, and that just freezes the defender, Schmidt, for a second. Just a split second, and Burgess takes advantage of it.
4th tie of the evening. And potentially our 8th lead change. Burgess, a 75% free throw shooter. His first attempt tonight. He's in double figures, as are 2 other Rams tonight. VCU back on top.
Let's see if Wichita State can get something out of a little flow here. They're looking inside first. Skeen doing a good job on Durley. That's better ball movement. Again, trying to play inside out. Late in the clock, it's going to be another high ball screen.
Yeah, becoming an issue for Wichita State. 7 on the shot clock, 3 on the game clock. Ragland, the lefty, will go. Lead change number 9.
Good composure by Joe Ragland, though. They didn't get anything out of a couple of ball reversals, and he took it hard to the rack. Gives his team the lead.
Ragland with 13 points to lead all Shockers tonight. 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 4 from three-point land. And Wichita State, once down 7 at the break, straight back to take a 1-point lead.
When the young guns of the Nationwide Series hit the track at Daytona, they'll be running their new Challengers, Impalas, Camrys, and Mustangs 4 wide with the best of the Sprint Cup. Justin Allgaier, Trevor Bayne, and Danica Patrick will put it all on the line against seasoned veterans Keselowski, Edwards, and Junior at one of NASCAR's most demanding tracks. See if they have what it takes to win the Nationwide Series at Daytona, Saturday at noon on ESPN2, presented by GoDaddy.com.
Wichita State on top by 1, trying to improve their NCAA tournament resume as we tip off the 9th annual edition of ESPN Bracket Busters. 2 great games coming your way tomorrow, presented by 5 Hour Energy. The doubleheader begins at noon on ESPN. Number 4, Pittsburgh in New York City to take on St. John's. What a great run they have had as of late. And then after that one, number 1, Kansas taking on Colorado in a fun Big 12 matchup at 2 Eastern. Big possession here for VCU. It'll be Ed Nixon bringing it up.
Call the timeout, obviously, to try and draw something up. Let's see what they're looking for. And as the cut I was talking about, Rodriguez makes the defense respect it. If they take it away, they'll back it back out.
10 on the shot clock. Rodriguez from 3, way off target.
A lot of work for that. Good Lord, that's not, I can't imagine what Shaka Smart was looking for out of that timeout.
Williams. They get it to Ragland. 13 on the shot clock. 2 minutes left in this one.
Ragland's got a little bit of a mismatch. Now they switch back.
Long jumper, no dice. So back-to-back. Long 3 balls for both teams. And it remains a 1-point Wichita State lead.
Give credit to the defense.
On both sides.
Both teams stepping it up with the game on the line.
Under a minute and a half.
Got to throw it there. He has him. Yes, sir. Now make some moves.
Rozelle from 3. He was hit. They didn't call it, and he drops it.
That's what was missing, was making the defense contract to respect the post play, and a beautiful kick out to get Rozelle to 3.
Rozelle, the 4th Ram in double figures. The lead at 2 for the visitors. Williams, little floater. Won't go. Blair over the back.
Watch the beautiful inside out to get Rozelle to 3. And a good job demanding the ball inside. See, Skeen demands the ball and then unselfishly throws it right back out. Just enough to occupy the wing defender. You see Rozelle claiming, hey, hit me in the face there.
On the other end, Gabe Blair just picked up his 3rd foul. VCU will have it with 1:02 left in this one. This would be a big win for the Rams if they can get out of Wichita with the W. And bailed out with a foul there. That'll be on Murray.
They'll put him in the bonus.
7th team foul in the half on Wichita State.
2nd foul on Murray, 7th team foul. Under a minute left for Greg Marshall and Wichita to try and reclaim the lead.
People asked what would it do by expanding the field by those few teams to 68, and the snarky answer, but it's the right answer, is not a thing. I mean, it is still an absolute battle down the stretch. These games mean so much to the teams that are on the bubble or even trying to get back into the bubble.
All you have is a different section of teams bitching and moaning that they didn't get the invite, right?
Absolutely. 69 will be upset instead of 66.
Burgess with the pressure free throw.
Gabe Blair back in for Wichita State.
Blair comes back on for the Shockers as Ellis goes out.
Solid free throw shooting team, 73% as a team, and Burgess, as you see, 75% on the year. This is the big one, of course, because it makes it 2 possessions.
In and out, 3-point game. Wichita State 7 of 20 from beyond the arc. Ragland will get another chance.
This is where their ability to go to the offensive glass really flexing their muscles. Got a second chance there.
Murray wide open from 3. Too strong.
One more, yep.
Another chance for the Shockers. Under 30 to go in this one.
3rd try here. Fans getting impatient.
Ragland blocks, gets it back. Shot clock is off. Timeout by Wichita State.
Good one by Greg Marshall. His team was not at all getting any kind of a flow there.
Both teams really seem to be struggling offensively in the late stages of this one. So a timeout by Wichita State. You're at home, 17.5 left on the clock. You're down 3. What are you calling if you're working the grease board?
I think you've got to either get something really quick inside because they're going to be so concerned about giving up the 3. You might be able right off an inbounds pass to flash somebody and score, and then you don't mind putting them on the line when it's just 1-1. Because if they make only one of those, you got a chance to come back and win it with a 3. They missed the front end, you can win it with a 2. So I would like to see them make them defend a quick interior bucket first. I think the problem, as much as Ragland is doing a good job of trying to take control, there's not enough ball movement right now. It's in his hands too much. He's almost waiting until the clock gets down to the end and then tries to make that high ball screen. Get some movement. This is a team with great weapons. Every single Shocker who's played today has scored, Rob. So they have a lot of weapons out there.
It's not often you see that stat flashed. Every player for one team getting a bucket. Coming up next, Friday Night Fights in 3D. Joe Tessitore and company standing by in Maryland. Great set of fights on the card for that one.
Watch around the basket. See if somebody flashes. They're going to let him play isolation there. Oh,
Kyle's fouled.
Oh, that is not a good foul by Burgess. Almost gave up a 4-point play.
So he'll go to the line for 3.
See, they've isolation. There's nobody here at all. That's so he can play one-on-one. And he sees the defender back off him a little bit and reads it, says, I'll take the 3. And then Burgess sticks his hand in there and gets the foul. Wow.
Kyle's did a pretty good job selling that one. A chance to tie it up from the free throw line.
Kyle's has more 3s than anybody else on the team. If you're wondering why they ran it there, even though he's only got 5 points on the game.
In and out.
I still don't think you're in a position where you deliberately miss. He's got to try and make these 2, foul immediately. Even if you give up 2 free throws, you'll get a last possession with a chance to tie. So your thoughts are you try and get both these to go down.
Kyle's with 6, 2-point game.
Gabe Blair back in for Wichita State.
I'm just telling him right now, first pass, try and get a steal on the inbounds pass. You don't get it, well, it doesn't matter who catches it. Get after him, especially if he makes this. Even if they make 2 free throws, you'll get a chance for a tie.
1-point game.
Timeout, Wichita State.
And a timeout by Wichita State. VCU seeking their 21st victory of the campaign. They are 12-4 in conference play. They come into this one having lost 2 straight and 3 of their last 5, but they have a pair of very solid wins in the victory over UCLA and on the road at Old Dominion.
I don't think it's a resume right now that gets them in. This certainly bolsters it if they're able to close the deal here. But I think the reality is, as Joe Lunardi indicated today, they're on the outside looking in, and they'd have to win their conference tournament. But this would go a long way to changing that perception. This would be a big, big win.
Colonial Athletic Association tournament begins March 4th at the Richmond Coliseum.
Now remember, this is the one time, and I'm always amazed how many guys don't take advantage of it, although they did earlier. It's the only time in the game you legally can put the ball under your arm and run with it. Take advantage, move on that baseline, move that defender, change your passing angles. Let's see what they do. They clearly have nobody here. Roselle could just break to the corner and get the basketball.
6'6" Burgess bringing it in. They get it to Rodriguez, and he is fouled. Rodriguez, the best free throw shooter for VCU this season, 87.5%.
I'd like to tell you, I completely understood what was going on there, but I'd be lying because Roselle is an 82% free throw shooter, and they left him wide open as if they wanted him to throw it there. So I know that wasn't it.
Rodriguez at the line shooting 1-1.
Frankly, Rodriguez, had they not fouled him, there was in a very vulnerable spot. Double team with guys much taller than he, couldn't throw over them. Greg Marshall wants to not only remind his guys, hey, we got to rebound first, but Probably try and go into confusion off a miss. Draw a play up now. It's always better, in my opinion, for the offense to go into confusion than let that defense get set up.
When you're in a huddle like this, are you drawing up a 3-point and a 2-point play, or are you trying to make it easy on the guys and just give them one?
No, I think right now if he's going to not take another timeout here, and they still have timeouts left, remember. VCU's got 2, and Wichita State's got 1. He may be saving that other one to draw up a last play, but in other words, he might say, look, if he makes both these, we'll take the last timeout, we'll draw a 3-point opportunity. If he misses either one, let's just go into confusion, and here's what I want you to do, because at that point, all you need is a 2. So we'll see. But my guess is most teams have a late game play that has a 3-point option and a 2. You can run somebody off a down screen and look for a kick to the wing for the 3, and if they take that away, take it right to the rack and get the 2. So he may have drawn that up as well. But first things first, they got to check off on the rebound.
Wichita State in the second half, just 2 of 9 from beyond the arc.
So much riding on these games, so much riding on one end-game possession. Missed it. And they do go into confusion.
Ragland. Pressured. Foul. Called. And Nixon can't believe it. With 4.9 left, Wichita State will go to the line with a chance to take the lead.
Shaka Smart's going to use one of his 2 remaining timeouts. You watch here, Nixon's trying to get over the screen. Watch, they're trying to make a little dribble handoff there, and he's trying to get over it and prevent them from giving the ball to Smith. Watch, as he comes around, he's trying to get over the top. You know what? Good call.
Yeah, 4th foul on Nixon as he ran up the backside of Ragland. So Ragland, the team's best free throw shooter, 88.1%, will go to the line for the Shockers. JUCO Joe with a chance to give Wichita State the lead.
He's been one of the reasons later in the year, certainly he's getting more minutes because he's been able to be trusted more by Greg Marshall with his decision-making. Frankly, that was a solid play right there. That was what the instruction was. Bring it to the wing, try and run a little dribble run for Smith, who's a 45% three-point shooter. So obviously the option there was come off that curl, shoot the 3 if they were down 3, or try and go to the basket, but never got the opportunity because of the foul. Now the question, if you're Shaka Smart, is assuming that both of these go in, do you take your last timeout right away? Do you throw to midcourt and call another timeout and try and run a sideline out of bounds play? That's gone out of vogue. Most teams now just try and get it to a guy going to his right hand and go up the floor. In 4.9 seconds, Rob, you could cover the entire length of the floor. So that is my guess, that they'll get it to somebody, designate where they want it to go, and let him go as quickly as he can.
Not a bad start to game 1 of the 9th annual edition of ESPN Bracket Busters. This is the first of 11 Bracket Buster games, 6 of them on ESPN2, 5 on ESPNU. Utah State, St. Mary's, Old Dominion in action coming up later. Coming up in a matter of minutes, Kent State at Drexel on ESPNU. And over on ESPN, number 12, UConn versus number 16, Louisville. Up next here on ESPN2, Friday Night Fights in 3D. But back to Wichita. Joe Ragland at the line with the opportunity to give his team the lead with 4.9 left.
4 of 5 from the line last game. And Thomas can be, knocks that one in.
5th tie of the game.
That's tough when it's your first free throw of the night, I'll tell you.
Both teams with 1 timeout left. Ragland for the lead.
Let's see, they're going to go. Here it is, Joey Rodriguez.
Rodriguez puts it up. It's short, but he is fouled. And Rodriguez, the best Ram free throw shooter, will go to the line with .2.
Number 1, Joe Ragland, his 3rd.
Ragland picking up the foul, his 3rd.
Take a look. Oh boy, that is tough. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I've said officials have to call the game to the buzzer. You can't put the whistle in your pocket just because it's an end-game situation. You're afraid fans are going to say, oh, let the players decide the game. If it's a foul, you have to call it. But I'll tell you, that is questionable. He's not really going to the basket. He's going away from the goal. The whistle's there at about 0.5. My guess is they'll put a couple of tenths back on, but still, this game is going to come down to these free throws. There's not much doubt about that.
It was just seconds ago where Rodriguez was at the line for a 1-and-1 and missed the front end.
I mean, that's a tough call. You know, he's giving away a lot of inches. He's leaning away from the defender.
0.8 seconds.
Put another 6 tenths up, so it goes to 0.8. And that's significant because, as you know, if it's under 0.3, there's no time for a catch and shoot. It can only be a tip. But still, 0.8 isn't exactly a lot of options either.
0.8 left. Both teams with one timeout. VCU down 1 at the free throw line.
Well, Rodriguez wanted redemption. He missed the free throw earlier. 87% on the year, and he gets his chance.
He's at the line for 2. Sixth tie of the evening. This for the 12th lead change and a Rams lead.
If you're Greg Marshall, you might want to take that last time out. I mean, you're not going to have time to score anyway. Try and ice him one more time. They're going to let him shoot it. And Marshall's saying if he makes it, call that timeout. So he wants to draw play.
Rams with the lead. Shockers with the timeout.
Timeout, Virginia Commonwealth.
0.8. He's got to play for this. I'd like to see it. Because this is, whoever catches it is going to have to let it go. There's not a lot of options.
While we have a break in the action, we send it to the studio and Mike Yam.
All right, certainly an entertaining matchup, and you would think the game on ESPN is scheduled to tip off in just a few moments. That would be Louisville and UConn. Peyton Siva had 19 the last time in double overtime win against the Huskies. Once again, 9 Eastern time over on ESPN. Guys?
Back here in Wichita, and the Rams have just taken the lead. 0.8 left as Greg Marshall has just burned his final Wichita State timeout. 0.8 left. What are you designing right now, Bob?
Yeah, let's be realistic. You're going to have to get a little bit of some luck. It's a Hail Mary situation. You take a guy who's a good baseball player and have him throw it, I would say, somewhere near the top of the circle and hope winds up in one of your guys' hands, and in the confusion, he can put it in, because you throw it in the backcourt, the guy's going to have to cock to shoot it that far. He's not going to have enough time. And here it is. There's the throw.
To midcourt and a timeout.
He only had 1 left, according to the scoreboard.
The scoreboard said he had 1 left.
I mean, he only had 1 left when he called it. I like that if he had an additional one. The scoreboard.
0.4 seconds on the game clock. 0.4.
Yep, that's a good play. I thought they were out. That's my mistake. I thought the scoreboard showed them at 0.
And they're showing 0.4 left.
Because that is enough time for a catch and shoot. In fact, most every coach I know has a last-second sideline out-of-bounds play, not only for these situations, but if you have it with the shot clock down. So we'll see. My guess is you're going to try and find somebody coming to their strong hand, which would be most guys are right-handed, coming to the right side of the floor where they catch and shoot. Enough time to do that in 0.4. We're not over yet.
Virginia Commonwealth will send in their 7-foot freshman center, DJ Haley, to provide some defensive help.
I like that. I did not realize he had 2 timeouts left. That's why he didn't use one to ice the shooter. Gives himself a chance now with 0.4.
Everybody circling up and conferencing, including our 3 officials right now, and a lot of pressure on them as well.
2 things to be aware of. 1, the back screen for the lob in this situation is always dangerous. You're so concerned about not letting your guy catch it. Somebody comes from the back, you run a back screen for a lob. That's why a lot of coaches will say switch everything. And as I said, the other one is if that's not there, somebody coming hard to their right-hand side where they can get a quick catch and shoot. John Wooden had one of the best last-second sideline out-of-bounds plays. I learned it my first year in coaching. I used it for the whole 20 years I was a coach.
Well, what was it?
Well, it's tough to show you on the board. But
maybe in overtime, which probably won't happen.
Very similar formation here. 31's going to go to the basket here. There he goes. Here's Durley. You look for him. There's the shot.
It's off in time. In and out! And a huge road victory for VCU.
That is essentially the play. Take a look at Durley goes to the basket. There he goes. Then you get a screen there for the guy coming, as we said, to his right. He catches it and gets the shot off, and that is a pretty good look. Boy, Kyle's had a great look. Greg Marshall did all he could, but all he could winds up 1 point short.
VCU improves to 21-8, a huge road victory to kick off this year's edition of Bracket Busters. Coming up next on ESPN2, it's Friday Night Fights. For Bob Valvano and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from Wichita, Kansas. Now, let's head out to Maryland for Friday Night Fights.